I first want to thank our mayor, Mayor London Breed, for insisting on a transit-rich environment for the Warriors Arena and for Mission Bay. She is a huge champion of the permanent project, which we plan to open at the end of 2021. But we didn't want to wait until 2021 and have all those passengers miss the opportunity to get out of their cars and come here by ferry. So now from Tiburon, Berkeley and Alameda and Oakland, passengers can come and enjoy a game and a special event at the Warriors Arena and enjoy the beautiful bay and what that brings. I'd like to thank some key partners. We did this incredibly quickly, and it was done with WIDA. WIDA's emergency float is here. They were able to lend it to us. Golden Gate Ferry paid for the tow and the installation, and the port crew was able to secure the permits and do all the landside improvements that you see out here today. So it was a collaboration from 3 agencies that was very, very quick in terms of getting it done and effective. So thank you so much to WIDA and to Golden Gate and to the Warriors for their help and support. I'd also like to thank my commissioners who are here today. Commission President Kimberly Brandon has been such a fierce advocate for water transportation, as has Port Commissioner Gail Gilman. Thank you both for being here. And we have some other VIPs from the WIDA board. I know the chair, Jody Breckenridge, is here. So thank you all. And to my staff, thank you for making this happen in a light speed way. And of course, Assembly Member David Chu, our big ferry advocate. So thank you all for being here and celebrating with us the good transportation opportunity that ferry provides. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elaine. I know that you guys expect to hear sound because we have a microphone, but in fact, this is to help with all the news folks so that they can get what we say right. So I'm just going to be a little loud. First of all, I want to thank Assemblymember David Chu, who's joining us here today, who's been really an incredible advocate in Sacramento for various modes of transportation and making it possible for these efforts to take place. And I also just want to thank everyone who's here and all the folks who've played a role in making sure that on day one of the opening of the Chase Center, we didn't hear hardly any complaints. Well, put it this way, it wasn't like Levi's, was it? And the fact is, you know, it had a lot to do with so many amazing folks from the MTA to the port, to the Warriors, to so many folks getting the word out to coordinate these efforts in a way that would help make getting here easier on public transit, whether it's by ferry, whether it's by Muni or what have you, and just the ability to use your ticket as fare for any of our Muni buses has been really outstanding. I'm looking at Jack over there, Bear at the Giants. It's just wonderful. A great thing for us to consider for the Giants, too. It works so much more efficiently. But the fact is, we're blessed to have 2 amazing teams in this area that draw people from all over the Bay Area, the San Francisco Giants and the Golden State Warriors. And using water as a mode of transportation is not only amazing, but it's such a great ride. It's so relaxing. And I want to thank my family from the Golden Gate Bridge Board who's here, one of the commissioners, Barbara, and others, and Dennis Mulligan and stuff. They have really been really great partners with San Francisco and with Water Transit, and so we're happy to have you all here today to join us. Bay Area Council, thank you, Jim Wonderman, the Port and the Warriors, and really doing this kind of thing takes, you know, a lot of people to make it happen. And so this is just the temporary location. Fingers crossed for the permanent location. We are hoping to get that thing open sooner rather than later. And let me tell you, when that happens, it's going to be a game changer because it's going to be right there. And who wouldn't want to just basically hop on a ferry to get to a Warriors game or to go to a concert? And the way we'll be able to time it will be absolutely outstanding. So this is the future of San Francisco, making it possible for people to get around easily and making sure that we are doing good by the environment and reducing congestion and making it a great experience. We want people to enjoy themselves when they're trying to get in and out of San Francisco anywhere. And this is a great addition to our city. And at this time, I just wanted to give Assemblymember David Chu an opportunity to just say a few words. He's been very great on helping us with this project.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor, for your leadership and your amazing city departments in moving this forward. So my first question, shouldn't you all be at work right now? Listen, we just took the one major form of public transit in the Bay Area that does not feel like public transit. This is how the transportation experience should be like. My staff likes to make fun of the fact that I'm a bit obsessed with water transit. I think the Chronicle said that I'm smitten with water transit. And let me explain why. It all goes back to about 5 years ago when the chancellor of UCSF called and said, "Hey, Chu, have you ever thought about water transit?" And about a week later, I ran into this man, Rick Welts, and he said, "Hey, Chu, have you ever thought about water transit?" And then a few days later, I ran into Larry Baer from the Giants, and Larry said, "Have you ever thought about water transit?" And then Jim Wunderman from Bay Area Council said, "I need to meet with you to talk about water transit." So many of you have been part of this vision of what it means to expand water transit in the Bay. And when I started looking into it, started studying the fact that it used to be millions of trips were taken every year across the Bay on water transit. You fast forward around the world today, 21st century transit, if you go to Sydney, if you go to Hong Kong, if you go to Europe, Seattle, New York City, it's all about water transit. This is why, working with Jim Wunderman, working with Labor, my good friend Jeff Del Bono, and others, we proposed with Regional Measure 3 a doubling of our water transportation system, $300 million for capital, $35 million a year for operating expenses to make sure that we are moving people across the Bay as quickly as we can. And this stop is really one of the flagship stops for our 21st century Bay Area water transportation system. The mayor touched upon how this is clean and this is green, but let me just close by emphasizing this is also the most romantic way to travel. In New York City, literally people go on dates on the ferry system, and I don't know about you guys, but muni dates are not the way to go. Water transit is the way to go. So I just want to say congratulations, look forward to moving this forward, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next ride.
And the guy that's going to bring us a world championship
Steph Curry here?
for the guy that's going to make it happen, Rick Wells.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to run over and hug everybody here. This is an unbelievable accomplishment. I hope it gets recognized for what it is. We were thrilled when Wida, the mayor, said, "Look, we can make a permanent ferry dock happen at 16th Street in 2021." That was a great outcome. But Elaine at the port said, why do we have to wait? Why do we wait until that happens? And it's a success story of seeing an opportunity and making it happen like this in San Francisco. And I hope it gets recognized for that, because the effort that went into making this happen for our first Warriors preseason game this Saturday, to the people in the East Bay, to the people in Marin, I'll use your word, it's a game changer. And David has been there from day one. I'm equally smitten with water transportation, having grown up in Seattle, where it's just a way of life, and to see it come to life here in Mission Bay, and what the permanent solution is going to mean for UCSF, for every business, every resident here, is going to be just outstanding. So thank you for everything you did to make this a reality. Thanks.
And I'd like to now introduce the chair of the WIDA board, Ms. Jody Breckenridge.
Good morning, everyone. It's a very exciting day, and any day you can be out on the water on a ferry and stuff is a good day. To the assembly member, to the mayor, I want to thank you for your support. I appreciate your passion. We love people who are passionate about water transportation, but also the active support that you have offered to us, both of you. I want to thank the board for WIDA. We have Jim Wunderman, Tony Intintily, and Jeff Del Bono with us today. But in particular, I want to thank everyone here who was involved in this collaboration. As those who spoke before me said, this came together very quick, very short order, and in fact it was being worked on yesterday to finish it up and make it happen. But those who worked on it are problem solvers and are doers. And so as we stand here today, we are ready for the opening of the preseason game. I would also like to say that there's a practical application for this. As was mentioned, this is part of our emergency response portfolio that we have, the equipment that we have. This is the first time we've actually had to exercise putting it up and seeing what that really took. And we now have some lessons learned that we'll be able to take back and put into both the federal and the state plans for the Bay to ensure that should we need this equipment in an emergency, we are ready to go and leaning forward. So it's a great day, and we appreciate everyone being here with us today. Thank you.
All right, that's it. Do a nice story because we had a good ride. All right.